Good day, everyone. So today we will be looking at the second part of reading strategies. So what I have done here is to identify three more reading strategies that you need in order for you to be able to do well for your reading test. So now let's look at the three. What are the three different reading strategies that I have enlisted? So the first one is deriving meaning from context, referencing, and also finally is making inferences. So now, over here, you can see there are examples. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain and I'm going to give you examples too so that it helps you to understand better. So now, the very common question, you would at least have one or two questions in your reading passage is deriving meaning from context. So focus here is context and meaning. So what you need to do is you guess the meaning from the context. This question, most of the student, especially those with low vocabulary, will find it difficult, or you might think that it's a difficult question I cannot answer because I have a very low vocabulary or meaning from vocabulary, knowing the meaning of vocabulary. So do not worry, because we are going to guess the meaning from the given context based on the clue. It is a test. You cannot have any dictionary, so what we can do is guess the meaning from the clues. So what are the clues? These are few clues that I have identified that you can use in your reading as a reading strategist in order for you to guess the meaning of the particular word. So first is direct definition, which is the unknown word is explained within the sentence. So now, if you look at the example over here, direct definition clue are, for example, in this sentence, question will ask, what does theory mean? So you have the next word is all ideas. Okay, so which means theory here means idea. Okay, you see, direct definition is given. Now, let's look at this second example. His emaciation or his skeleton-like appearance. You might feel that, okay, this is a difficult word. I don't know even what is this. So look at the context given. Skeleton-like appearance. Okay, so direct definition is given. The context is the appearance is very frightening to see. So what does it mean? So a direct definition is given, skeleton-like appearance. So basically, emaciation means skeleton-like appearance. Now, let's look at the second type of clue, which is word with similar meaning. So now, let's look at the examples, synonym clues. So if you look here, cynosure. What does cynosure mean? It means it looks like a big word, but you see the focus of all attention. You know that the context is the spotlight, focus of all attention, Miss America. The context here, please understand the context first and then look at focus of all attention. So the direct definition for cynosure is focus of all attention, because if you see next, context is eyes for the rest of the evening. Okay, so the nearest meaning would be focus of all attention. So the synonym for cynosure is focus of all attention. Now let's look at the second example. The mountain pass was a tortuous road, winding and twisting, comma, winding and, so this word, the direct definition is winding and twisting. You look at the context, snake around the mountain tree. So the context and the direct, the synonym is given, comma, and the synonym is given. So this is another clue that you can find in your reading passage. Another clue is antonym, word with opposite meaning. So for opposite meaning, you need to look at the linkers. There's always a contrasting linker attached to the sentence. Okay, so if you see the pupils of the eye contract when it grows darker, they dilate. So question would ask, what does dilate mean? You would know based on the contrasting linker that contract is the opposite of dilate. Okay, so you know the meaning of dilate. Now let's look at the second example. The children were as different as day and night. He was a lively conversationalist, but she was a reserved and taciturn. So what does taciturn here mean? It's the opposite, right? So you look at the linkers, contrasting linkers, lively conversationalist, which means taciturn would most probably be a person who doesn't talk a lot or speak a lot, because here is lively conversationalist. Okay, now example given in the passage is also clues for you to guess meaning. For example, piscatorial creature. If you see the example given is all example of types of fish, correct? So basically this word piscatorial means fish. Okay, so you see example are also important to guess meaning. Now let's look at the next. Celestial body or celestial object. Sun, moon, stars. This is example. So celestial object or celestial body means sky or the universe. Now, sometimes they are also rephrase sentence or restatement of a word. Okay, now let's see. Example, carnivores, that is. Okay, if you see the sentence or the phrases that uses that is, it means that the word before is a restatement for the next word. So carnivores, that is meat eaters. So you know carnivores mean beings that eat meat. Okay, now glaciers. Glaciers, which is, you see it's a restatement. Whenever there's a restatement, it's either that is, which is. Okay, or even as just comma. Okay, you would get the meaning. The next sentence or the next phrases would be the meaning of the particular word. So slowly moving river of ice. This is what glaciers mean. Okay, so basically this is how you find the or you guess the meaning from the context. It's not difficult if you have mastered or if you know how to identify the clues, then you can get the meaning of the particular word. Okay, now let's look at the second strategy, which is referencing. Referencing is basically replacement of a noun or pronoun. So there are two types of referencing, which is anaphoric and also cataphoric. So let's look at anaphoric first. So anaphoric example. So if you see the definition here is word or phrases refer back to another word or phrases. So now if you see, if the question asked you, what does it refers to? It can be the passer. Okay. She was frantically searching for her daughter. So if the question asks, what pronoun is used to refer to an, or what phrase is used to refer to an, you can immediately refer back to her daughter. Okay. An is her daughter. Okay. Her here refers to Lily. Okay. Okay, now, next, cataphoric. Cataphoric is basically word that refers forward with another phrase. So the book refers to it. Rina refers to she and her in this sentence. Okay, so that is cataphoric, forward. Okay, and then this is earlier mentioned. So parcel here, earlier it mentioned as it. So the parcel is referring to it. Her daughter is referring to her daughter. Okay, so that is what anaphoric or cataphoric referencing is all about. Now, the next question or next strategy would be making inferences. Making inferences is always making an assumption based on the evidence. Remember, evidence is always from the text, not on your own assumption, but based on the evidence from the text itself. Okay, now let's look at the example. Now, there was no public transport available. Lily had to walk in the hot sun. By the time she reached home, she was drenched in sweat. Okay, so the question asks why Lily was drenched in sweat. Okay, was drenched in sweat. So why Lily was drenched in sweat? So you make assumption or inferences based on the evidence given. So the evidence here is there's no public transport. What happened when there's no public transport? Lily had to walk. What is the weather? Hot sun. So all this evidence refers to, that's why she got drenched in sweat. So why she was drenched in sweat? You have the evidence given here and you can make assumption based on that. Now let's look at the second example. There was a pool of blood and an unmoving body. What do you think happened? So based on the evidence given, there's two evidence. Number one, pool of blood. Second, body that is not moving. So what can you make assumption? You can make assumption as there's a murder that took place. Okay, so this is how you make inferences. So basically, these are the three strategies and the example that is given to you or that is explained to you for you to be able to understand. And once you understand this, you're able to use it, apply it, and then able to answer reading comprehension tests and questions better. Okay, once you have mastered this. These are all very famous questions, but least question are asked. But for example, deriving meaning has two questions, referencing has one question, making inferences will always have one question. So it is commonly asked in your reading comprehension question. So for you to be able to master this, you need to apply. So I have prepared activities for you to be able to apply these strategies and look at how these three strategies works when you actually apply it in your reading comprehension question or passages, okay, or task itself. Okay, so that's it for this week. Thank you, and please refer to Moodle for further instruction. Thank you.